Today we're going to be talking about season 16, episode 6 of The Bachelorette. And like I said in the opening part of this video, there was so much wrong with it. So this episode starts off with a group date. And the theme of this group date is a grown man being a grown man challenge. And it consists of 3 different categories that I guess Tayshia is looking for in her grown man. Someone who's smart, someone who can cook, and then someone who's like strong, shows strength. So the first part of the date was the intelligence part. They had like math problems and spelling contests. And Bennett was on the date, and Bennett went to Harvard, and he prides himself in being super intelligent, super smart, like, ha 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 ha, I went to Harvard. And in every single portion on this episode, he got every answer wrong or incorrect. With this basic math and with the spelling, everyone was like, oh my God. And he said he went to Harvard? Okay. Like, they was making so many jokes. Like, one dude was like, Harvard needs to lower their tuition, or did he even stay at Harvard for 4 years? You know, basic jokes like that. It was pretty funny. And then after that part of the date, they had the physical challenge where they did tug of war. So a belt was on either guy, and then they were like both trying to run in the opposite direction to get a bouquet. And Bennett set out of that because of health issues or a prior something happening to his leg or something in the past episodes. And then the third challenge was the breakfast in bed challenge. Like, you were supposed to cook something and then present it to Tayshia while she was in bed. And DeMars was cute. He had like a little drink, you know, he gave it to her. It was cute. Chasen didn't cook anything. He just showed up in an apron and was like, I'm your main course. Corny. And Bennett, he showed up in a robe. He had the breakfast. He took it to her in bed. He even got in the bed and like fed her the little beignet. He was like a beignet with Bennett. Like, it was it was cute. Cute, corny. It was corny, cute, but I don't really like Bennett like that, so it kind of threw it off. But I'll get into why I'm not really feeling him later. So yes, that was that portion of the date. And then Bennett ends up getting the group date rose, and everyone was like, pause. Bennett, the one who couldn't do math or a spell. Bennett, the one who didn't compete in the other challenge. Bennett, that Bennett, he got the group date rose. Hold on. Skirt. Like, everyone was just like, how? Dudes was not happy with that. And then Ed got the man child, so he was designated to carry a baby for the rest of the episode. So the second half of the date starts off with the guys talking with Bennett, asking him if he believed that he deserved to get the award of grown man. And he's like, yeah, I do. And then Chasen says, well, do you think a grown man would sit out of a physical challenge? That's extremely sexist to me. Like, are you saying that men are required to, you know, must compete in a physical challenge, and if you choose to opt out for some medical reason that you are not a man? So as soon as Tayshia comes in to the second part of the date with all of the guys there, as soon as she sits down, Bennett goes, hey Tayshia, like, can I steal you? And Tayshia's thrown off. Like, she's like, well, I kind of want to say like hello to the other guys, you know? So she says her greetings, and then after she's done, Chasen says, so can I be the first one to grab you? She says yes. They dip out. Then Bennett is salty about it. He's like, well, a grown man has manners. Grown man has manners. Then Bennett starts talking with Ed about his frustrations with Chasen, and then Ed gives his thoughts about his frustrations with Chasen. So then we see Tayshia and Ben talking, and they're talking about how each other makes the other person nervous, and how Tayshia says her walls go up when she's around him because something about him just makes her so nervous. And then he asks to kiss her and she's like, yes. So then they're like, kiss, 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 kiss. Then Tayshia pulls back and she's like, Ben, and her eyes get big. She's like, Ben. And then they go, kiss, 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 kiss. And then Tayshia's like, I got a dip. You dangerous. Whatever you got going on, you're dangerous. I have to go. I thought that moment was so funny. Tayshia also talks with Ivan, and they talk about their goals and how they have similar goals and interests about like what they want to accomplish in the future. And then Ivan goes, well, can I blindfold you? Like, can I feed you some strawberries? So he blindfolds her, feeds her some strawberries, and of course they have like the little makeout session. And I will say that I think they look great together. When I say great, I'm talking about Tony the Tiger great. I think they look amazing together. Hands down. Her and Ivan, I like them together. Then it cuts back over to all of the guys in the group, and Bennett's saying like, I think there's an elephant in the room about who's not really here for Tayshia. And then Ivan's like one of the men here, like, let's be specific. And then Chasen's like, yes, like if you're talking about me, like all this speculating, that was his favorite word. He was like, all this speculating, like who you talking about? And then this is when I have my issues with Bennett. Bennett goes, yeah, like I feel that. Then he cuts it, and then he says, well, yeah, Ed says that you may not be here for the right person. You might not be here for Tayshia. And then this is where my issue. This is my issue. My issue is if you have a problem with someone and you don't like how someone move, or you don't like how someone act, or whatever you have the issue with, address that person one-on-one, and you talk about the reasons as to why you do not like them. I don't appreciate the fact that he just threw Ed under the bus, even though Ed can like speak for himself, and you should be able to defend what you said no matter what the situation is and no matter who you're around. If you said it, you should own up to it. But I just feel like it was almost like, to me, scary of him to just throw what Ed said into the mix. We're not talking about what Ed said. You brought up this topic, you talk about the elephant that you want to address, not the elephant that Ed wants to address. You a grown man, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk about your issues, not Ed's issues. Talk about what you have a problem with. Bennett throws Ed under the bus. Ed and Chasen starts arguing, and a lot of sexist comments are thrown out. Chasen says like, I can't take you seriously while you're holding a baby. As like, what, like, because this man is holding a baby, he's suddenly not manly enough? Like, I'm just not understanding. Does holding a baby make you less of a man? Like, I'm at a loss. Can you please clarify? So then Ed goes to Tayshia and tells Tayshia that Chasen might not be here for the right reason. Ed goes back to the group and tells the group, including Chasen, that he just told Tayshia that he doesn't think that he's there for the right reason. And then this causes Tayshia to go get Chasen, and then they talk about it. It's a lot of back and forth going on here, you guys. Jason goes back to the group and is like, man, Ed, dude, you need to chill out, bro, for real. I'm done with this. I'm done with you. Da-da-da-da. Then Ed's like, bro, you need to chill out with your medium shirt. And then Chasen's like, dude, this is a large. This ain't no medium. And they just go back and forth about nonsense. And then Ivan gets the group date rose. There was some good stuff that came from this rose ceremony. We got to see more of Joe, or learn about Joe. I didn't really know much about Joe. And he had like a Korean dish, I believe, and they were eating it, and then he showed her a picture of his family. Then we've seen Damar's little 5th grade poetry skills. He made her a little poem. Now let me stop. It was a cute poem. It was cute. It was a little corny, but it was cute. I'm not gonna say 5th grade. Maybe 7th grade. Maybe 7th grade poems. So then it cuts to Ed talking with Bennett about Chavin again. And then Bennett makes this weird joke about how Chavin had the opportunity to describe Tayshia with any adjective, and he described her using a noun, and he just cracked up laughing. Like, he literally turned red in the face. He thought this was so funny. Like, and I'm just like, weren't you the one who couldn't do the math problems earlier? Like, wasn't you the one who couldn't spell limousine? Like, dude, like, chill out. Like, you're annoying. So again, when Ed gets the opportunity to talk with Tayshia, he doesn't choose to talk about his interests or his hobbies or what he likes to do, or like what makes him him. He talks to Tayshia about how Chavin towered over him and how he felt threatened. And again, he just chooses to talk about somebody else other than him. Like, So then Tayshia's like, what? So then Tayshia addresses Chavin again about the situation. And she's like, so is this true? Like, what happened? He's like, yeah, it's true. Like, I didn't handle it right. She's like, yeah, no, you could have set him down, talked with him. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get violent or physical, whatever. And he's like, yeah, heard you, got you. So then he goes back to Ed and he tries to apologize about the situation and becoming aggressive, and Ed is not having it. They're talking in circles, and then that's when the guys are like, okay, let's just try to step in. So the dudes step in and try to like stop the situation, keep it from escalating. At the rose ceremony, only 3 men went home. So the day starts off with them doing wrestling poses and exercises, and then they do smack talk, which I thought was really funny. Who was it? Joe. I would have been Joe. I'm not good at smack talk. Joe's like, yeah, bro, like, I like your hair today. Like, I'm horrible at smack talk. Like, and then they learn lifts, how to like lift people, slam them to the ground. Chase and talk about Ed gonna need his mama because he's bringing out his inner Wolverine. He said he been talking about his inner Wolverine like 5 times this episode, and he getting a little too into it. He like, yeah, my inner Wolverine gonna come out and it ain't gonna be pretty. You know what? Let me stop talking about this man before he bring out his inner Wolverine on me, and it's just, we don't want the inner Wolverine. Let me stop talking about it. Spencer and Ben's match, intense. It's time for Ed and Chasen to match off. Ed's like, hold on, I gotta talk to Chris Harrison for a sec. Pause. Let's pause it. So then he goes to Chris and he's like, listen, man, my shoulders be dislocated and it's a chronic thing, and like I just don't think that it's best for me to, fight right now. I just find it odd that, like, you was doing all of the other things. You were practicing the lifts and the slams, and you were doing the poses and the start poses and stuff like that. So, like, it just seems a little odd to me that now you just can't put all of the 3 things that y'all were doing earlier into one. You know what I'm saying? You were doing them all individually, but now when it's time for you to go against Chasing, you suddenly can't do it. I'm just saying it's just a little odd, but I'm not here to push nobody, you know what I'm saying? I'm just only talking about what I witnessed, and it's just a little odd. But yes, he says that he can't do it. And so then Chase is just like, well, does anyone else want to fight for my love? And then Noah's like, yeah, put me in there, coach, put me in the game. So then Noah's put in the game. He jumps the fence. He gets oiled up. And him and what's that dude name? Him and Chasen goes at it. And it was intense. Like, I'm talking slam, twist, slam, twist. Like, it was intense. Chasen ends up winning, but to reward Noah for jumping the fence and like getting in the game, Tayshia's like, yes, come on the later half of the date with us, like, please. And all the dudes are like, really? At the night half of the group date, They're all in a circle. And then Noah decides that he wants to be the first person to take Tayshia. So he takes Tayshia. They're talking and then they're kissing. And then Noah says something along the lines of, let me guess, you don't like the mustache. She starts laughing. She's like, ha, 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 ha. How do you know? And then he was just like, I don't know. Or whatever he says. I don't know. And then she's like, well, what if you just like shave it off or like get rid of it? And he's like, you mean like today, like shave it off? She's like, there's no rules. So then he's like, I bet. He leaves, they say goodbye, boom. So then while all of the guys are, you know, getting up, stealing Tayshia, talking with her, whatever, Ben comes up with this crazy idea that he's gonna take her away right before she gives out the rose, or so he could be the last one, so he's fresh in her mind so that he can get the rose for that night. So he's just letting people come and snatch her up. Then Brendan snatches her up. They're talking, and then he's like, bro, you really make me feel. She cuts him off and starts kissing him, and we're just like, dude, sometimes you just be rambling sometimes. Like, sometimes you just need to shh. And he's like, oh, okay, sometimes I need to shut up. She's like, yeah, sometimes you need to shut up. I was like, dang, if I was him, I wouldn't really know how I would feel. Like, let me get my feelings out there, home skilly. Like, don't shut me up. Let me talk about how I feel, and then we could kiss. I don't know, but like, don't be shutting me up, sis. I got too much to say. So then, while Jordan sees having his time with Tayshia, Noah comes back up with a razor in hand. And he's like, oh, can I talk with Tayshia for a minute? Or can I steal her? And then Jordan says, oh, I'm really enjoying my time here, but I'll leave that up to Tayshia if she would want me to go to talk with you. And then Tayshia's like, oh, no, like, don't do me like that. Don't put me in a situation. And then she goes, well, actually, let me just finish things up with Noah. So then Jordan gets up and he has to leave. And if I was him, I'd just be like, I'm going home. That's a wrap. But he leaves, and then Noah comes with the razor, and then Tayshia starts shaving his face. It was a cute little moment, you know. She got rid of the mustache, and he's handsome without the mustache. So then it cuts back to Tayshia being in the group of guys right before she's about to hand out the rose. And then this is when Ben tries to activate his, you know, mastermind plan. He tried to put the plan into action. He was like, before you reach for the rose, let me run this by you real quick. Like, can I like steal you for a second before you give out that rose? Like, can I have you for a sec? And Tayshia's like, no. And Ben just looking salty as heck. He's looking salty. He's looking mad salty. And so she's like, yeah, I'm actually like disappointed that you didn't come and like, you know, try to steal me away or like talk with me. So like, you know, it's the end of the night. You missed your chance. And he's like, yeah, my bad. And so she ends up giving the group date rose to Noah, and none of the guys are pretty happy about that. And that was pretty much the episode. Rooting for Ben and Ivan. I want those two to be the final two. I want Ivan to take the cake. Actually, wait, no, whoa. I like Brendan too. I like Brendan, Ben, and Ivan. I would like those three to be the final. I want Ivan to take the cake, and I wouldn't mind seeing Ben or Bennett as the next bachelor after Matt, or seeing them in Bachelor in Paradise. I love those three. You heard? I want y'all to be at the end. I'm rooting for y'all. Mainly Ivan. Okay? Okay. Good night, y'all. It's 3 in the morning here. Almost 4.